Hey everyone, this is the Atheist Avenger here. Gonna do something a little out of the ordinary here and do, I guess you can call it a political video. Tomi Lahren is, put out one of her many final thoughts. They're not very smart thoughts, believe me. But this one, and I usually ignore them, but this particular one kind of got under my skin. So let's see what she has to say, shall we?
When did we get to the point where we can't even stand to be in the presence of someone with opposing political views? It's ugly and it's disheartening to watch. I have some final thoughts. Whether it's Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders getting kicked out of a restaurant, Secretary of Transportation Elaine Chao being shouted down by students, protesters harassing DHS Secretary Kirsten Nielsen at a Mexican restaurant, or having water thrown at me while I brunch with my parents. One thing is for...
Okay, well, first of all, I don't approve of anyone throwing water at anyone, but let's be honest here, Tommy. We all saw that video and the water barely touched you. And by the way, I don't want to hear a fucking word out of people like you, because people like you are still fighting to make sure that religious business owners have the right to legally discriminate against LGBT clientele. Okay? So if you're going to sit here with a straight face and tell people like me, hey, religious bakers, for example, shouldn't be forced to violate their conscience by doing this. Okay, well, if that's the way you want to play it, then I don't want to see crocodile tears when someone who's left-leaning doesn't want a conservative in their restaurant.
Sure, the so-called loving and tolerant left seems to be anything but, and it's getting worse.
Okay, wow, that wasn't even 3 seconds. Tommy, let me explain something very simple to you. What you want is tolerance, at least from you white people. What you're asking people like me to do is tolerate intolerance. And as I've said many times on my channel, at that point, tolerance becomes self-destructive, which I think that's what you want. But no, we're not going to tolerate your intolerance. I'm sorry if that triggers you, but it's just not going to happen.
And where are the feminists in all of this? Conservative women are attacked verbally, even physically, and the female empowerment squad is nowhere to be found.
Oh, Jesus, it's going to take me a while to get through this. I don't really respect the feminist position that much, at least what it's turned into now, let me be clear. But Tommy, let me explain something that should be simple to someone with 2 working brain cells. Feminists are not going to support you simply because you're a woman. And they're definitely not going to support you when you sit there and support people like Mike. Well, you know what? Scratch that. She doesn't support Mike Pence. When you sit there and support a president who has admitted on tape, he has admitted on tape to sexually assaulting women. The president you support admitted on tape to grabbing women by their genitals without asking permission. And you're going to sit there with a straight face and wonder why I wonder why feminists don't support me. Well, here's an idea. Why don't you stop, lost my train of thought. Thank you. Why don't you stop supporting people, let me say that again. Why don't you stop supporting politicians who are anti-women? Maybe then the feminists will be on your side.
Do conservative women mean less to you? Are we not worthy of your advocacy? And if so, I feel sorry for you.
Again, I can't speak for any feminists, but I'm just going to automatically say no. And maybe if you, again, stop supporting politicians who, are anti-women, maybe you wouldn't have this problem.
Where does it end? Are we on the fast track to Democrat-only restaurants and public spaces? Is that what some of you want?
Are you kidding me? Tommy. Okay, if the people on your side of the aisle had their way, they would put up no gays allowed signs in their restaurants. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Listen, Blondie, why don't you check your own backyard before you start checking ours?
So intimidated by opposing viewpoints, you have to silence, shame, and shout down those of us who don't subscribe to your worldview?
Tommy, you have a career of doing that. Everything that you're complaining about, you have a career. The 5 seconds where you just said you made a career out of fucking doing that. You have no self-reflection whatsoever.
Are you so unconfident in your argument you need to resort to harassment and isolation? That's weakness. And
considering you work for a news network that does exactly that, again, shut your fucking hypocritical mouth.
conservatives aren't off the hook either. It bothers me to my very core when some store owners turn customers away for being gay or otherwise different. Yes, I'm all for religious liberty, but the courts and Constitution aside, can we just treat people like people? We are blessed to live in a country with freedom of speech and expression. Generations of Americans of all races, genders, and ethnicities fought and died for our First Amendment rights. We don't have to like or agree with one another, but we can respect each other as people. We live in a political climate so heated and divided that we completely shut off reason and tune out the other side.
Okay, then again, I wish I could believe you, Tommy, but every time we see our president tweet something rude or offensive, specifically you and many others like you on Fox News sit there and defend it. So it's hard for me to believe the words that are coming out of your mouth when every time I see you on Fox News, there you are defending Trump and kissing Trump's ass. So you excuse me if people on my side of the aisle don't fucking believe you.
Who did you vote for becomes a litmus test for friendship. If we don't like the answer, we shut down. We've been taught to avoid talking about politics and religion, which has led to a lack of understanding of how to navigate difficult conversations. We've become so unreasonable and stubborn, we ostracize or attack those who don't think like we do. Listen, I have...
Yeah, which, again, that's coming from more your side than ours. So, again, check your own backyard before you start checking ours.
strong opinions, and yes, I've said things that have crossed the line, but I would never call for my political opponents to be harassed, attacked, or asked to leave a restaurant. I am confident enough in my argument to be around people who challenge my thinking.
Oh, bullfuck. Oh, my God. Oh, that is funny. That is fucking hilarious. Tommy. Listen, Tugboat. Every time I've seen you on TV, you are by yourself. By yourself, talking shit on the left. Rarely ever have I seen you actually argue with someone from the opposite side when you're on Fox News. Are you kidding me? People like you want to be surrounded by a fucking echo chamber. That's why you're constantly on fucking handy all the goddamn time.
What Representative Maxine Waters did in calling for the harassment of Trump administration officials was completely unacceptable.
Okay, first of all, no, she wasn't. She was calling for peaceful protesting. She was not advocating for violence, so what you just said is a flat-out lie.
Had she been a Republican, she would have been shamed into resignation.
No, I guarantee you, again, can't speak for anyone left-leaning, but me personally, I would have clearly saw that Republican was advocating for peaceful protests. Peaceful protest, Tommy. She was not advocating for harassment at all.
We don't need to like or agree with one another, but wouldn't it be nice if we could get back to the art of agreeing to disagree? Heck, if we have an open conversation, maybe we could all learn a thing or two. But those are just my final thoughts from LA. God bless, and take care.
Okay, well, there was that. Yeah. So, I have to admit, in the middle there, I did agree with her, but considering the source, considering whose mouth it's come out of, I'm sorry, I don't fucking believe her at all. Okay? Every time I've seen this woman on Fox News, rarely ever does the show she's on invite on the opposite side. And she's going to sit there with a straight face. Oh, well, I don't mind being challenged. Are you kidding me? I mean, you did a pathetic job when you went on Bill Maher's show. And every time you're on freaking handy, again, you're by yourself. You rarely ever talk to the opposition, at least from what I've seen. Anyway, that's my response to Tomi Lahren. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and y'all have a nice day.